Imagine waking up in the soft, golden light of a Roman morning, the warm sun spilling over the red-tiled roofs of the city. Your eyes open slowly, and you hear the distant murmur of the Tiber River, flowing quietly, almost like it is speaking to you. You stretch on your simple straw mattress, feeling the softness of the linen sheet beneath your fingers. The air is filled with the scent of fresh bread baking in nearby ovens, a comforting smell that mixes with the aroma of herbs from the small garden outside your home. Today, like every day, begins with a gentle routine. You rise, wash your face with cool water drawn from the terracotta jar in the courtyard, and dress in a simple tunic, the fabric soft against your skin. The tunic is belted at your waist, and you can feel the texture of the wool, slightly rough but warm, grounding you in the moment. You step outside, feeling the stone under your sandals, smooth from years of footsteps. The city is alive but calm now, with only the early risers moving about, merchants arranging their stalls, slaves carrying baskets of fruit, and a dog wandering lazily near the fountain. Walking through the narrow streets, you notice the familiar sights: the mosaic floors of grand houses, the tall columns of temples glinting in the sun, and the chatter of children running to the baths. You pause to watch a street musician strum a lyre, the soft notes floating into the air, gentle and serene, as if the music itself is telling stories of long ago. You inhale deeply, tasting the freshness of the morning, the scent of olive oil, herbs, and the faint tang of the river. Life as a teenager in Rome is filled with small adventures and quiet discoveries. You have tasks to do, like helping your parents with the market or running errands, but there are also moments to explore, to wander, to notice the world around you. Today, you decide to take a slightly longer route to the Forum, curious to see what new stalls have arrived, what travelers have come from distant lands, and what whispers float through the air. You pass a blacksmith, the rhythmic clang of metal against metal echoing softly. Sparks fly like tiny stars, catching your eye and drawing a quiet smile from you. The blacksmith nods at you, familiar now, and you nod back, feeling the gentle warmth of being part of this rhythm of life. At the Forum, the city seems to stretch out endlessly, full of movement yet calm in its own pattern. You stop by a fruit stall, touching the smooth skins of figs and the vibrant colors of pomegranates. The fruit smells sweet, almost perfuming the air. The vendor offers you a taste, and you accept, savoring the flavor as it melts in your mouth. Life in Rome is about these small pleasures, these fleeting moments that, when noticed, feel like treasures. Later, you wander to the baths, where the warm water is steaming gently, inviting and soft. Around you, teenagers your age are talking quietly, sharing stories of school, family, and small dreams. You feel a connection with them, a sense of belonging that is both comforting and tender. You float on your back, staring at the marble columns above, imagining the clouds moving across the sky, and listen to the water ripple softly, a lullaby for the senses. As the afternoon sun climbs higher, the city glows with a soft warmth. You walk through gardens full of blooming flowers, their colors gentle and inviting. Bees hum softly among the petals, and you notice the faint rustle of leaves in the breeze. In these moments, the world seems to slow, each sound, smell, and touch becoming a meditation, a gentle reminder of the simple beauty of being alive. Your thoughts drift to school, where lessons in rhetoric, history, and philosophy await. You think about the stories of great heroes, the legends of gods and goddesses, and the poetry of past ages. Learning is a quiet adventure, a way to travel through time without leaving the streets of Rome. You imagine yourself in the stories, walking beside the philosophers, debating with the senators, or gazing at the temples in awe. Evening falls slowly, painting the sky in shades of gold, pink, and soft purple. Torches are lit along the streets, casting gentle shadows on the stone walls. The city quiets down, the bustle of the day fading into a serene rhythm. You walk home feeling the cool evening air brush your face, and you hear the soft laughter of children playing with small wooden toys, the gentle calls of vendors closing their stalls, and the distant cooing of pigeons settling for the night. Back home, the family gathers for a simple meal. The food is humble but satisfying, shared with stories and laughter that rise softly into the night. You feel the gentle bond of family, the comfort of being among those who know you, the quiet sense of safety and belonging. After the meal, you sit by the window, watching the stars begin to appear, twinkling softly in the darkening sky. The city sleeps gradually, the distant sounds of the Tiber lulling everything into calm. As night deepens, you climb into bed, the sheets cool against your skin. You reflect on the day, the quiet joys, the simple adventures, the small discoveries, and feel a sense of peace. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the rhythm of the city blends with your own heartbeat, creating a gentle lullaby. The stories of Rome, the music, the river, and the warmth of family float around you as your mind drifts gently into sleep, dreaming of tomorrow's quiet wonders, of new streets to explore, new lessons to learn, and new small treasures waiting to be noticed in the heart of ancient Rome. The next morning begins gently, the pale light of dawn spilling softly through your window. You wake slowly, stretching your arms above your head, feeling the slight stiffness from yesterday's wandering through the city streets. Outside, the city breathes in its slow rhythm again. A cart creaks over the stones, a rooster crows in the distance, and the faint smell of freshly baked bread drifts from a nearby bakery. You sit for a moment, listening to these familiar sounds, letting them anchor you to the comfort of home. After washing your face in the cool water from the courtyard, you decide to help your mother in the kitchen. She is rolling dough for bread, her hands skillful and confident. The flour dust floats gently in the morning light, soft and delicate. You knead a small portion of dough yourself, feeling the pliable texture under your fingers, and the simple act of shaping the bread becomes almost meditative. The rhythmic pressing and folding bring a quiet sense of accomplishment, a connection to generations of families who have done the same for centuries. Once the bread is left to rise, you step outside to run errands for your father. The streets of Rome are starting to hum with life. You notice the variety of people moving past you, a senator in a toga deep in conversation with an advisor, a soldier walking steadily, the leather of his sandals worn from years of service, a young girl carrying a basket of olives, her face bright with curiosity. You nod at each familiar face, receiving nods and smiles in return. In this way, the city feels alive, not overwhelming, but like a living organism where every sound, step, and glance has its place. Your errands take you through a bustling market. The air is fragrant with fresh herbs, olives, fish, and the faint tongue of spices brought from distant lands. You run small errands delivering coins, fetching small jars of honey, and notice tiny details along the way. A cat sleeping lazily in a sunbeam, the shimmer of sunlight on bronze jewelry, the soft clatter of wooden carts rolling over cobblestones. Everything is vivid yet gentle, a tapestry of life that seems to move at its own unhurried pace. Mid-morning, you meet some friends in a quiet courtyard near the Forum. You sit together on low stone benches, sharing small stories, laughing quietly, so as not to disturb the serene rhythm of the city. One of your friends shows you a small carving they have made of a Roman god, the details delicate and intricate. You trace the lines with your fingers, imagining the myth behind it, the stories of gods walking among humans, of heroes and adventurers, of ordinary people whose lives were shaped by the whims of fate. Afterward, you wander toward a small grove of olive trees on the edge of the city. The sunlight filters softly through the leaves, creating a mosaic of light and shadow on the ground. You sit on a smooth stone, feeling the warmth seep into your skin, and listen to the gentle rustle of leaves. In this quiet space, away from the bustling streets, you reflect on your daydreams. Perhaps one day you will travel to far provinces, or become a scholar, or speak in the Senate. These thoughts drift through your mind without pressure, simply floating like the clouds above, soft and slow. The afternoon is often reserved for study. You sit with your tutor in a sunlit room filled with scrolls. The delicate scent of papyrus mixes with ink, creating an atmosphere both calming and inspiring. You read about Roman history, the rise and fall of cities, the strategies of generals, and the philosophies of thinkers who pondered life and the universe. Each lesson feels like a small adventure, a way to walk alongside thinkers of the past, to imagine their thoughts and experiences as if they were your own. As the sun lowers toward the horizon, the city softens again. Traders pack away their goods, the last children play near the fountain, and the warm golden light spills across the marble and brick. You walk to the edge of the Forum and watch the shadows stretch, noticing the way the light transforms familiar buildings into something almost magical. For a moment, the city feels timeless, ancient yet immediate, full of life yet quietly serene. Evenings are spent with family and sometimes neighbors. You gather in the courtyard, sharing simple meals, the soft clink of ceramic cups and plates blending with the evening breeze. Stories are told of distant lands, of gods and heroes, of small heroic acts of kindness that often go unnoticed. The conversation drifts gently, touching on dreams, hopes, and the quiet moments of the day. You feel a sense of belonging, a calm certainty that in this moment, life is safe, simple, and warm. Night comes slowly, a soft, velvety darkness spreading across the city. Torches flicker, casting gentle shadows, and the distant murmur of the Tiber whispers beneath the starry sky. You prepare for bed, laying out your simple tunic and sandals, and climb into the soft linen sheets. The sounds of the city at night, quiet footsteps, the occasional cough, the cooing of pigeons create a lullaby. Your thoughts drift toward dreams, of exploring hidden corners of Rome, of hearing ancient stories from unseen voices, of quiet adventures that do not disturb the serene flow of life. As you close your eyes, the warmth of the day lingers, the smells, sounds, and gentle rhythms of Rome surrounding you like a soft embrace. You drift slowly, floating between consciousness and dream where the city stretches endlessly. The Tiber flows like a silver ribbon, and every street, stone, and whisper becomes part of a quiet, endless story. The days in Rome begin to blend into one another in a gentle, comforting rhythm. Each morning feels familiar yet quietly new, like a soft melody that changes just enough to stay interesting. You wake to the same warm light, the same distant sounds of carts and voices, and yet every day carries its own tiny surprises, waiting patiently to be noticed. One morning, you decide to walk down toward the Tiber River before the city fully awakens. The air is cool and fresh, and a faint mist rises from the water, drifting lazily over the stone banks. Boats are tied gently to wooden posts, rocking back and forth as if they are half asleep. A fisherman stands quietly with his net, moving slowly, carefully, not wanting to disturb the calm surface of the river. You sit on a smooth stone nearby, letting your fingers trail through the cool water, feeling the gentle current slide past your skin. The river seems to carry more than just water. It feels as if it carries stories, memories, and the quiet footsteps of all those who have passed through Rome before you. You imagine merchants floating downstream with their goods, soldiers crossing on sturdy bridges, and travelers from far lands gazing in wonder at the city for the very first time. These thoughts drift through your mind softly, without urgency, like clouds moving slowly across the sky. As the sun rises higher, the mist fades, and the river begins to sparkle. You stand and walk back toward the city, your footsteps light and unhurried. Along the way, you pass small shrines tucked into the corners of streets, each one decorated with tiny offerings of flowers, candles, or pieces of bread. You pause at one, placing a small flower you picked near the river. There is something calming about this simple act, as if you are gently whispering your gratitude to the world. Later in the morning, you attend your lessons. Your teacher speaks slowly about the nature of life, about how everything moves in cycles, just like the seasons, the stars, and the tides of the sea. You listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart, feeling the quiet truth in his words. Outside the open window, a breeze moves through the trees, and for a moment, it feels as though the world itself is nodding in agreement. When lessons end, you and a few friends walk together through a shaded path lined with tall cypress trees. Their dark green branches sway gently overhead, creating soft patterns of light and shadow on the ground. No one speaks very much, there is no need to. The quiet companionship feels warm and reassuring, like being wrapped in a shared blanket of peace. You stop at a small bakery, where the baker hands you a piece of warm bread. Steam rises gently from its surface, and the smell is rich and comforting. You take slow bites, savoring the simple flavor, feeling nourished not just in your body but in your spirit as well. It is amazing how something so simple can feel so deeply satisfying. As afternoon turns toward evening, you wander through a peaceful garden near a villa on the edge of the city. Flowers of every color bloom quietly, and small fountains trickle with soft musical sounds. You sit on a stone bench, watching butterflies drift from flower to flower. Time seems to slow here, as if the world is giving you permission to simply exist, without any need to hurry. You think about who you are becoming, growing slowly like these plants, shaped by sunlight, rain, and the gentle passage of days. There is no pressure in this thought, only a soft curiosity about the future, about all the quiet moments yet to come. When you finally return home, The sky is painted in warm shades of orange and purple. Lamps are being lit, their flames flickering softly in the evening breeze. Inside, your family prepares dinner, and the familiar smells of herbs and cooked grains fill the air. You help set the table, enjoying the simple rhythm of small tasks. The meal is calm and comforting. Voices are low, laughter is soft, and every word feels like part of a gentle flow. Afterward, you step outside again, looking up at the stars now scattered across the dark sky. They shine quietly, steady, and distant, reminding you how vast and peaceful the world truly is. You lie down for the night, feeling tired in the most pleasant way. Your body relaxes into the soft bedding, and your thoughts begin to slow. The sounds of Rome at night, distant footsteps, the murmur of voices, the steady whisper of the river, blend together into a soothing lullaby. And as you drift toward sleep, your mind floats through gentle images of streets and gardens, temples and rivers, friends and family, all moving together in a calm, endless dance. Ancient Rome holds you softly, like a warm, protective dream, and you rest deeply within it, safe, peaceful, and unhurried. The following morning arrives with a soft, rosy glow over the rooftops of Rome. The city seems to stretch and yawn in the gentle warmth of the early sun. You wake slowly, feeling the faint chill of the stone floor beneath your feet as you step out of bed. Outside, the streets are alive with a quiet, gentle energy. Merchants are setting up their stalls, arranging fruits, vegetables, and spices in colorful, orderly rows. The scent of fresh bread mingles with the earthy aroma of olives and herbs, creating a comforting perfume that drifts lazily through the air. Today is special, a festival in honor of Ceres, the goddess of grain and harvest. The festival is celebrated with quiet reverence, rather than loud revelry, and the city feels different, somehow softer, more connected. You join your friends and family as they walk slowly toward the forum, the streets lined with small decorations of greenery and ribbons. The rhythm of your footsteps mingles with the soft music of flutes and lyres played by musicians along the way, each note floating into the air like a gentle whisper. At the forum, the festival is alive but serene. Tables are covered with fresh fruit, honey cakes, and small breads baked with care. People move quietly, offering gifts and thanks to the goddess, speaking softly, almost as if the city itself is listening. You take part in the small rituals, feeling the smooth stone of the altar under your hands, and notice the subtle smile of your neighbor as you exchange greetings. Each gesture is simple but meaningful, a quiet acknowledgement of life's beauty and abundance. Children run gently across the open spaces, playing games of tag or tossing small balls back and forth. You join them for a moment, laughing quietly, feeling the warmth of the sun on your face and the soft brush of air on your skin. The games are gentle, without competition, more about shared joy and movement than victory. The rhythm of running, the sound of soft laughter, and the warmth of companionship settle over you like a soft blanket, a comfort that eases the mind. As the afternoon sun climbs higher, you wander to a quieter area near a small temple, its marble columns glowing softly in the light. You pause to look at the carvings on the walls, each one depicting stories of gods, heroes, and mortals, frozen in time yet alive in their quiet beauty. You trace the lines with your eyes, imagining the stories behind them, the quiet courage of a soldier, the gentle wisdom of a philosopher, the patience of a farmer tending his fields. The carvings speak without words, a soft reminder of life's timeless flow. Afterwards, you return to the baths, where the warm water waits like a comforting embrace. You float quietly, letting the water ripple softly around you, the gentle hum of voices and footsteps creating a serene lullaby. Around you, other teenagers share stories and soft laughter, their voices blending into the calm rhythm of the afternoon. You close your eyes briefly, letting the water carry away any tension, imagining the river carrying your thoughts gently toward distant lands. Later in the day, the festival continues with quiet music and storytelling. A storyteller sits beneath a spreading olive tree, his voice low and soothing, recounting tales of heroes, gods, and the hidden wonders of the empire. You sit cross-legged, listening, letting each word paint a delicate picture in your mind. The hero's bravery feels gentle, the god's intervention soft and mysterious, and the moral of each story drifts into your mind without urgency, like leaves floating on a calm stream. Evening falls slowly, painting the city in soft shades of gold and lavender. Torches are lit, casting gentle shadows along the streets. Families gather for simple meals, their laughter muted by the quiet calm of the city settling into night. You return home, carrying with you small memories of the festival, the taste of sweet honey cakes, the warmth of sunlight on your face, and the serene rhythm of laughter and music that linger softly in your mind. Dinner is shared quietly, the food humble but fragrant. The bread is warm, the vegetables tender, and the aroma of fresh herbs mingles with the soft murmur of conversation. You speak gently with your parents, sharing your small adventures of the day, listening to their calm stories, and feeling the warmth of family and home settle like a gentle weight over your shoulders. Night deepens, and you climb into bed. The sheets are cool and soft, and the sounds of the city at night are gentle and soothing. The Tiber flows quietly beneath the moonlight, a constant, calming presence. You close your eyes, feeling the slow rhythm of your heartbeat merge with the quiet pulse of the city. Your thoughts drift gently, the festival, the games, the soft laughter, the warm sunlight, and the quiet stories of heroes long past. Each memory is soft and comforting, guiding you into the tender embrace of sleep. You dream gently of Rome stretching endlessly beneath you. Sunlit streets, quiet gardens, flowing rivers, and soft voices carrying stories from one corner of the empire to another. You drift among the olive groves, the baths, and the temples, moving slowly, gently, as if floating on the air itself. The city is alive yet serene, each moment a soft note in the quiet symphony of life. And as your mind floats through these gentle visions, sleep wraps around you, calm and unbroken, carrying you into dreams that shimmer softly with the warmth and rhythm of ancient Rome. The next morning arrives quietly, with a pale, misty light spilling over the rooftops. You wake slowly, feeling the soft warmth of the linen beneath you. Outside, the streets are not yet busy. Only a few early risers move through the city, the clop of a mule's hooves, the faint scrape of wooden wheels, and the distant murmur of water from the Tiber mixing into a gentle, soothing rhythm. You lie for a moment, listening, letting the sounds sink into you like the calm before a gentle tide. After washing, you step into your sandals and head toward the local apothecary. Today, your errand is small but interesting, fetching herbs for your family's kitchen. The apothecary is a quiet place, scented with lavender, rosemary, and the earthy aroma of dried roots. Jars line the shelves, each labeled in neat, fading script, their contents a mystery waiting to be explored. You run your fingers gently along the glass jars, feeling the smooth surface under your fingertips, inhaling the subtle fragrance of thyme and sage. The apothecary smiles at you, passing you the small bundle of herbs carefully wrapped in brown paper. As you leave, the streets start to hum with life. The market is beginning its daily rhythm. Merchants call softly, trying not to disturb the calm flow of the city, and children chase each other in quiet games of tag near the fountain. You notice a group of pigeons fluttering around, cooing softly, their wings brushing the air like delicate whispers. A warm breeze carries the scent of freshly baked bread from a nearby oven, mixed with the sharp tang of olives and cheese. You pause, closing your eyes briefly, letting the world sink slowly into your senses. Mid-morning is often the time for small adventures. Today, you decide to explore a quieter part of the city you have not visited before. Narrow alleys wind between tall houses, their shadows creating patterns on the cobblestones. Laundry flutters gently in the breeze, and small gardens peek through open windows. You pass an old man sitting quietly, polishing a bronze statuette of Mercury, the god of travelers. He nods at you, and you nod back, feeling a quiet sense of connection to the city's rhythm. You wander further and discover a small library tucked behind a vine-covered wall. Inside, the air smells faintly of papyrus and ink. Scrolls rest neatly on low shelves, each one a quiet promise of stories, histories, and dreams. You pick one up carefully, tracing the delicate letters with your fingers. You read a few lines aloud softly, letting the words roll over your tongue, each one a gentle thread weaving you into the past. The librarian, an elderly woman with kind eyes, smiles faintly at you and returns to her work. The calm, hushed atmosphere of the library makes you feel as if time has slowed, and for a few moments you are the only person in Rome, surrounded by centuries of quiet thought and memory. By midday, the sun climbs high, warming the city with a gentle heat. You head toward the baths again, the soft sound of your sandals on the stones almost musical. The water is inviting, warm, and soothing, and you step in slowly, letting the tension of wandering and errands melt into the calm embrace of the pool. Around you, other teenagers move quietly, sharing small smiles and whispered jokes. You float gently on your back, feeling the water ripple softly around you, the world above the surface becoming a soft blur of marble columns and sunlight. Later, as the afternoon deepens, you explore the outskirts of the city. Olive groves and small vineyards stretch softly toward the hills. The scent of earth, leaves, and ripening fruit fills the air. You sit on a low wall, legs dangling, watching the slow movements of workers tending the vines. Bees drift lazily from flower to flower, and the distant hum of the city is softened into a gentle background melody. You close your eyes briefly, letting your mind wander with the breeze, imagining distant provinces, vast roads stretching endlessly, and the slow journey of merchants, travelers, and travelers' stories that move like threads across the empire. Evening falls gently. The light softens, golden and pink, spilling over rooftops and columns. The forum empties gradually, the sounds of footsteps replaced by the soft whispers of the wind through the streets. You return home, carrying small tokens from your explorations, a smooth stone, a sprig of rosemary, a tiny carving of a bird from a market stall. Each one feels like a small memory, a quiet gift to yourself. Dinner is simple, shared with your family. The bread you help make in the morning is soft and warm, the herbs fragrant and gentle on the tongue. Conversation drifts slowly, stories of the day weaving together, laughter soft and quiet, like the gentle echo of wind through columns. After the meal, you help wash the dishes, the warm water running over your hands, soothing, almost meditative. The soft clink of ceramics, the gentle scent of soap and herbs, create a comforting rhythm that settles over your body like a blanket. Night arrives slowly. Torches flicker along the streets, casting soft shadows, and the city breathes in its gentle nocturnal rhythm. The Tiber flows steadily, whispering softly as it moves past bridges and stone quays. You climb into your bed, the linen cool and soft. Outside, the stars appear one by one, their light delicate and calming. You close your eyes, feeling the quiet satisfaction of a day fully lived, a day filled with small adventures, gentle discoveries, and the comforting rhythm of life in Rome. Your mind drifts slowly, floating between consciousness and dream. You imagine the city stretching endlessly beneath you, every street, every alley, every garden a small part of a larger story. You drift through time, moving gently among the whispers of history, letting the calm, timeless rhythm of Rome lull you into deep, restful sleep. The night settles fully over Rome, and the world feels wrapped in a deep, velvety quiet. You lie in your bed, breathing slowly, feeling the day fade gently from your thoughts. Outside, the stars shimmer faintly, and the Tiber continues its soft, steady whisper. Sleep carries you smoothly into dreams, but even in dreams, Rome remains close, warm, and familiar. When morning returns, it does so softly, with pale light slipping through the shutters. You wake without any hurry, stretching gently as if your body already knows the rhythm of the day. The cool air brushes your skin as you sit up, and you listen to the quiet sounds of the city, awakening pots clinking, footsteps on stone, distant voices greeting one another with gentle warmth. After a simple breakfast, you step outside. The streets are still calm, and a thin mist hangs in the air, making everything look slightly blurred and dreamlike. You walk slowly, enjoying the feeling of the stone beneath your sandals, each step grounding you in the peaceful flow of the morning. You decide to visit a small temple nearby. Inside, the air smells faintly of incense, and soft light filters through narrow openings in the walls. You sit for a moment, breathing in the stillness. It feels as though the world has paused, giving you a quiet space to simply be. You do not ask for anything. You only sit feeling grateful for the gentle rhythm of life. When you leave the temple, the city has grown brighter. Sunlight spills across rooftops, and the streets begin to fill with people going about their day. You walk toward the forum, but instead of joining the busy center, you turn down a smaller path, one lined with trees and small gardens. Birds flutter among the branches, and their soft chirping feels like a peaceful melody meant only for you. You find a quiet spot beneath a fig tree and sit down, leaning back against its smooth trunk. Above you, leaves move gently in the breeze, casting shifting shadows across the ground. You close your eyes for a while, letting the sounds of nature and the distant city blend together. Everything feels slow, steady, and safe. As time passes, you wander toward the outskirts of Rome, where fields and vineyards stretch softly toward the hills. The air here is different, fresher, carrying the scent of earth and growing plants. Farmers move slowly among their crops, their movements calm and unhurried. You watch them for a while, feeling a quiet respect for the simple, steady work that feeds the city. Later, you sit near a small stream that winds through the countryside. The water moves gently over smooth stones, creating a soft, soothing sound. You dip your fingers into the cool flow, watching ripples spread outward in delicate patterns. It feels like time itself is flowing just as gently, carrying you forward without any rush. As the sun begins to lower, you return toward Rome. The city greets you with familiar warmth. The walls glow softly in the evening light, and the streets feel welcoming, as if they know you and are glad you have come back. You meet a friend near a fountain, and you sit together quietly watching the water dance and sparkle. There is no need for many words. Just being there together feels enough. The gentle presence of another person adds to the calm, making the world feel even more peaceful. When night begins to fall again, you head home. Lamps flicker to life, casting soft pools of light on the stone streets. Inside your home, the air is warm and comforting. You share another simple meal, feeling nourished by both the food and the quiet togetherness. As you prepare for bed, you feel a deep sense of contentment. The days in Rome may be full of movement and sound, but beneath it all there is a steady, soothing flow. You slip beneath the covers, your body relaxing, your thoughts growing slow and gentle. Outside, the river continues its endless journey. Inside, your breath becomes calm and even. And once again, you drift into sleep, wrapped in the timeless, peaceful embrace of ancient Rome, where every moment moves softly and every dream feels safe and warm. The night passes gently, almost unnoticed, like a soft breath moving through the city. When sleep loosens its hold, you awaken slowly, feeling rested and calm. The light entering your room is pale and quiet, carrying with it the promise of another unhurried day. You sit up, listening for a moment to the familiar sounds beyond the wall's soft footsteps. A distant voice, the quiet stir of life beginning again. You wash your face with cool water, feeling refreshed, and step outside into the courtyard. The air is mild, carrying the faint scent of flowers and stone warmed by the coming sun. A bird perches nearby, tilting its head as if curious before fluttering away. You smile softly and begin your morning walk. Today you take a longer path through the city, one that winds past workshops and small homes. A potter shapes clay with slow, careful movements, his wheel turning steadily. You pause to watch, mesmerized by how easily the shapeless earth becomes something useful and beautiful. The potter nods at you, and you continue on, carrying with you a sense of quiet admiration. As the city brightens, you find yourself drawn toward a shaded portico where elders often sit and talk. You take a place nearby, listening without interrupting. They speak of seasons past, of lessons learned, of how life changes gradually, often without us noticing. Their voices are low and steady, and their words feel like warm stones settling gently in your thoughts. Later, you head toward the baths, not in a hurry, simply following the gentle pull of routine. The water welcomes you again, warm and soothing. You let yourself float quietly, eyes half closed, listening to the soft echoes of movement and conversation around you. The warmth loosens your muscles and calms your mind, and for a while, there is nothing else you need to do or think about. When you leave the baths, the afternoon sun hangs comfortably in the sky. You wander toward a quiet hill overlooking the city. From there, Rome stretches out before you, rooftops, temples, streets, and gardens, blending together in a peaceful harmony. The Tiber glimmers in the distance, winding its way patiently through the landscape. You sit on the grass and let your thoughts drift. You think about time, how it moves steadily forward, yet feels gentle when you stop resisting it. You realize that growing up does not have to feel rushed or heavy. It can be like this slow, thoughtful, full of small moments that quietly shape who you are becoming. As evening approaches, the sky begins to change color. Soft blues deepen into warm golds and pinks. You return home as the city settles into its evening rhythm. Lamps are lit, meals prepared, and voices soften. Inside, your family greets you with easy smiles. You share food, stories, and comfortable silence. Later, you step outside one last time. The night air is cool and calming. Above you, the stars shine steadily, unchanged by the passing days. You take a slow breath, feeling deeply at peace. When you finally lie down to sleep, your body relaxes completely. The day fades away without effort. Your thoughts grow quiet, then quieter still. And once again, ancient Rome holds you gently, its streets and rivers, gardens and voices blending into a peaceful dream, carrying you softly into deep, restful sleep. The rhythm of days and nights in Rome continues like a slow, steady heartbeat, never hurried, never harsh. You begin to feel as though time itself has softened, shaped by the gentle routines that fill your life. Each morning greets you with light that feels warm and welcoming, and each night wraps you in calm like a familiar cloak. One morning, after waking and washing, you decide to walk toward the old aqueducts on the edge of the city. Tall stone arches rise against the sky, carrying fresh water into Rome with quiet reliability. You stand beneath them, feeling very small and very peaceful at the same time. Water flows through channels above, a steady, soothing sound, reminding you how even great structures exist simply to serve life in gentle, useful ways. As you walk back, you pass through neighborhoods where families begin their daily work. A woman sweeps her doorstep slowly, pushing dust into neat lines. A man arranges pottery outside his shop, each piece catching the sunlight differently. You notice how everything seems to move with purpose, yet without hurry. It makes you feel safe, knowing the world continues its calm work around you. Later, you visit a quiet schoolroom. The teacher speaks softly about poetry, reading lines that flow like water. The words paint images of distant lands, peaceful meadows, and quiet rivers. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the sounds wash over you, and it feels as though you are traveling without moving at all. After lessons, you walk with a friend through a small orchard. The trees are heavy with fruit, their branches bending gently. You pick a ripe apple and take a slow bite, feeling the sweet juice on your tongue. You share a few quiet laughs, not loud or wild, just warm and soft, like sunlight through leaves. As the afternoon drifts by, you find yourself near a small amphitheater. It is empty now, but you sit on the cool stone seats, imagining voices and music filling the air. Even in its emptiness, the space feels full of gentle echoes, as if the past is still breathing there. The sun lowers and shadows grow longer. You walk home slowly, enjoying the way the light changes everything it touches. Walls glow softly, and even ordinary stones seem beautiful in the golden hour. At home, the evening feels warm and comforting. A pot simmers over the fire, filling the air with rich, soothing smells. You help stir, watching the steam rise in slow curls. Dinner is simple but satisfying, and conversation flows easily like a calm river. When darkness falls, you step outside once more. The moon hangs high above Rome, casting silver light over rooftops and streets. Everything feels quiet and safe. You take a deep breath, feeling connected to the city, to the people, to the long history flowing gently beneath it all. As you lie down to sleep, your body feels heavy in the most pleasant way. Your mind grows still, like a lake at night. Thoughts drift away, replaced by soft images of arches, rivers, gardens, and stars. And slowly, gently, you sink once more into sleep, carried by the peaceful, timeless rhythm of ancient Rome, where every moment flows softly and every dream is calm and kind. The soft hush of night fades again into the pale promise of morning. You awaken gently, as if guided by the light itself. There is no alarm, no sudden sound, only the slow glow of dawn and the quiet breathing of the city around you. You stretch and sit up, feeling calm, rested, and deeply at ease. Outside, Rome stirs in its familiar way. You step into the courtyard where a few drops of dew still cling to the leaves of small plants. The air is cool and fresh, filling your lungs with quiet energy. Somewhere nearby, someone hums softly while preparing their morning work, and the melody drifts like a thin ribbon through the air. You begin to walk, letting your feet guide you through streets, so well that they feel like part of you. Stone walls, archways, and small shops pass by in a gentle blur. A baker smiles as you pass, sliding trays of warm bread into a glowing oven. The comforting scent follows you, wrapping around you like a warm blanket. Soon you find yourself near a peaceful garden. Tall trees provide shade, and small flowers dot the ground with bits of color. You sit on a low stone wall and watch a cat stretch lazily in the sun. Everything here feels unhurried, as if the world has agreed to move slowly just for you. Time passes softly. You do not feel the need to fill it with anything. Simply being is enough. The breeze brushes your skin. The distant sound of water from a fountain drifts through the air. A bird hops nearby, tilting its head before fluttering away again. Later, you walk to a quiet corner of the forum where an old storyteller sometimes sits. He speaks in a calm, steady voice, telling tales of travelers and gods, of cities and seas. You listen, not for excitement, but for the gentle rhythm of his words. Each story feels like a lullaby for the mind. When the sun is high, you wander back home for a simple meal. The food is warm and comforting, filling you with a peaceful sense of contentment. Afterward, you lie down for a short rest, letting your thoughts drift without direction. As evening arrives, the sky once again turns soft and colorful. You walk along the streets, watching shadows stretch and blend. Lamps begin to glow, one by one like small stars brought down to earth. Finally, you return to your room. You lie down, feeling the familiar comfort of your bed. Outside, Rome whispers gently in the night footsteps, distant voices, the steady flow of the river. Your breathing slows, your mind grows quiet, and once more, you drift into sleep, wrapped in the calm, endless rhythm of ancient Rome, where every day and every dream moves softly, peacefully, and without hurry. The flow of time continues, smooth and gentle, as if guided by the quiet heartbeat of Rome itself. You sleep deeply, and when you wake again, it is with the same calm warmth you have come to know so well. Light slips through the window, touching the walls and floor with a soft golden glow. The city beyond is already awake, but never in a rush, always moving in its steady, peaceful way. You rise and step outside, feeling the cool stone beneath your feet. A soft breeze carries the scent of flowers and warm bread. Somewhere in the distance, a fountain murmurs, its water flowing endlessly, reminding you how everything moves forward without struggle. Today you decide to wander without any destination at all. You move through winding streets, past small shops and quiet homes, letting curiosity guide you. You notice details you have seen 1,000 times, yet they feel new each morning. The way sunlight catches on bronze door handles, the gentle curves of carved columns, the patterns in the stones beneath your feet. You pause near a small shrine tucked into the corner of a building. A candle flickers inside, its flame steady and calm. You stand there for a moment, breathing slowly, feeling a quiet sense of gratitude for the simple fact of being alive in this peaceful moment. Later, you find yourself by the river again. The Tiber glides past, smooth and shining under the sky. You sit on the bank, watching leaves float by. Each one moves at its own pace, carried gently by the current. You feel like one of those leaves, drifting through time, guided softly by something larger than yourself. As the afternoon unfolds, you return toward the heart of the city. Children play in the streets, their laughter light and gentle. Merchants call out in calm voices. Everything feels balanced, as if Rome itself is breathing slowly in and out. You spend the evening with your family, sharing food and quiet conversation. The room is warm, lit by soft lamplight. You feel safe, grounded, and deeply at peace. When night comes, you step outside for one last look at the stars. They shine quietly, ancient and unchanging, watching over Rome just as they have for countless generations. You take a slow breath, feeling small yet connected to everything around you. Then you return to bed. Your body relaxes. Your thoughts fade. And once more you drift into sleep, carried by the endless, gentle rhythm of ancient Rome, where every moment flows softly and every dream is calm and kind. The quiet dream holds you for a long while, like warm water holding a leaf. Then, without any sharp edge or sudden sound, morning returns once again. Your eyes open slowly, and you find the soft light of dawn resting gently on the walls of your room. The city is already breathing, already alive, but it does so with a peaceful steadiness that never disturbs your rest. You sit up and take a slow breath. The air feels cool and clean. Somewhere nearby, a bird sings, its notes light and simple. You rise, wash, and step into your tunic, feeling the familiar fabric settle against your skin. There is comfort in these small, repeated motions, as if each one reminds you that everything is just as it should be. Outside, the street glows softly. A few people pass by, moving without haste. You walk toward a nearby bakery, drawn by the warm, comforting smell of bread. The baker greets you with a quiet smile and hands you a small piece, still warm. You take slow bites, enjoying the simple flavor, feeling gently nourished. With no rush, you wander through the city. You pass columns and archways, gardens and fountains. You pause often simply to notice the way water catches the light, the way leaves sway in the breeze, the way footsteps echo softly on stone. Each small detail feels like a tiny gift. Later, you find a shaded spot beneath a large tree. You sit there for a long time watching people come and go. Their movements feel like part of a calm dance, each person playing their role in the gentle rhythm of Rome. You feel connected to them all, even without speaking. As the sun moves across the sky, the day slowly unfolds. You help with small tasks, share quiet moments with friends, and let your thoughts drift freely. There is nothing to worry about. There is nothing you need to chase. Evening arrives in soft colors once again. The sky glows, the lamps are lit, and the city settles into its night rhythm. You return home feeling pleasantly tired and lie down. Your breathing becomes slow and steady. The sounds of Rome blend into a soft, distant hum. And as your eyes close, you slip once more into deep, peaceful sleep, carried by the timeless calm of ancient Rome, where every moment feels gentle and every dream feels safe. The night stretches on like a wide, quiet sea, and you drift through it gently, without a single ripple of worry. When you awaken again, it feels natural, as though your body and the rising sun have agreed on the perfect moment. Light spills softly across the floor, warm and welcoming, and you breathe in slowly, feeling rested and calm. You step outside into the morning air. The streets are still cool, and the sky above is pale and wide. Somewhere a rooster calls, and the faint sound of water flowing through stone channels echoes gently through the neighborhood. Rome is waking, but it does so peacefully, like a great animal stretching in its sleep. You decide to walk toward a quiet hill where you can see much of the city. The path is lined with small wildflowers, and you notice how their petals catch tiny drops of dew. When you reach the top, Rome spreads out below you, roofs, towers, and temples blending together in soft light. The river glimmers in the distance, winding slowly through it all. You sit on the grass, feeling the earth beneath you, steady and reassuring. Time feels wide here. You think about the many people who have walked these same paths, who have watched this same sunrise. It does not make you feel small. It makes you feel connected, part of something gentle and endless. When you return to the city, you find a small group of musicians practicing near a shaded courtyard. Their instruments hum and whisper, creating soft melodies that drift through the air. You sit nearby and listen, letting the music wash over you like warm water. Each note feels like a breath, slow and soothing. Later, you wander through the market. The colors of fruits and cloths glow softly in the light. Voices rise and fall, never too loud, just enough to remind you that life is moving forward. You touch a smooth piece of pottery, admire a string of simple beads, and enjoy the feeling of being surrounded by gentle life. As afternoon arrives, you rest near a fountain. The water splashes lightly, creating a steady, calming sound. You close your eyes for a while, letting your thoughts drift wherever they wish. Sometimes they bring images of places you have never seen. Sometimes they bring nothing at all, and that feels just as peaceful. The day slowly leans toward evening. The sun lowers, shadows grow long, and the air becomes cool and sweet. You walk home with easy steps, feeling full of quiet contentment. At dinner, there is warm food and kind company. You share stories, though softly, and listen more than you speak. The lamplight flickers gently, making everything feel cozy and safe. When night comes, you step outside once more. The stars are bright, scattered across the sky like silver dust. You take a deep breath, feeling the calm of the world settle inside you. Then you return to bed. Your body relaxes. Your mind grows still. And you drift once more into sleep, carried by the slow, timeless rhythm of ancient Rome, where every moment flows gently and every dream is wrapped in peace. The gentle rhythm continues, as it always does, smooth and steady like the flow of the Tiber. You rest deeply, and when you wake again, it feels as if no time has passed at all. The light is soft, touching the room with a warm glow, and the world outside is already moving in its quiet, familiar way. You rise and step into the calm morning air. The scent of flowers and stone warmed by the sun drifts toward you. Somewhere nearby, someone hums while sweeping their doorway. The sound is simple, yet it fills the space with comfort. You walk through the streets, feeling the solid earth beneath your feet. Shops open their doors, and friendly faces appear, greeting one another with gentle smiles. You stop by a small stall and accept a piece of fruit, its sweetness bright and refreshing. With no plans to guide you, you wander freely. You pass a temple, its columns standing tall and peaceful. You pause inside for a moment, letting the quiet surround you. The world feels wide and still here, as if time itself has slowed to match your breathing. Later, you sit by a pool in a quiet garden. The water reflects the sky and ripples move slowly across its surface. You watch them fade one by one, feeling your thoughts do the same. As the afternoon unfolds, you help with small tasks, speak softly with friends, and enjoy the warmth of the sun. Everything feels simple and easy, like a long, gentle breath. When evening comes, the city glows again with lamplight. You return home feeling pleasantly tired. After dinner, you step outside to look at the stars. They shine steadily, unchanged by the passing of days. You lie down and close your eyes. The sounds of Rome blend into a soft, distant hum. Your body relaxes, and your mind becomes quiet. Once again, you drift into sleep, held by the peaceful, timeless world of ancient Rome, where every moment flows softly, and every dream is calm and kind. The calm carries on without end, like a long, gentle breath that never needs to hurry. You sleep deeply, wrapped in quiet dreams, and when morning comes, it feels like a soft invitation rather than a command. Light slides across the walls, and the air is cool and clean. You wake and sit up slowly, enjoying the simple feeling of being here in this moment. Outside, Rome stirs gently. A few voices rise and fall, not loud, not sharp, just part of the peaceful rhythm of the city. You step into your sandals and walk outside, feeling the stone beneath your feet, solid and comforting. Today you wander toward a small bridge over the Tiber. The water below moves steadily, reflecting the sky in soft ripples. You lean on the railing and watch it flow, feeling your own thoughts slow and soften. Everything seems to move just as it should, without effort. As you walk back through the streets, you pass by gardens filled with flowers and herbs. Their scents mix together, sweet and earthy, filling the air with calm. You pause to touch a leaf, feeling its smooth surface beneath your fingertips. Later, you sit in a shaded courtyard with a few friends. No one feels the need to speak much. You share the quiet together, listening to birds and the faint splash of a fountain nearby. It feels peaceful just to be together, without needing anything more. The afternoon drifts by like a slow cloud. You help with small tasks, walk a little, rest a little. Time stretches wide and gentle. When evening arrives, the sky turns soft shades of gold and blue. Lamps flicker to life. You return home, where warmth and familiar voices welcome you. As night falls, you lie down, feeling calm and safe. Your breath slows. Your thoughts fade. And once again, you drift into sleep, cradled by the endless, soothing rhythm of ancient Rome, where every day flows gently into the next, and every dream feels soft and kind. The world outside moves softly, almost imperceptibly, as you sleep. When your eyes open again, morning light spills slowly across your room, gentle and forgiving. You stretch, feeling the familiar comfort of your body resting after another calm night. The city outside hums quietly, alive yet peaceful, like a great steady heart. You rise and step into the cool air of the courtyard. Dew clings to the plants, and the scent of damp earth mingles with faint hints of bread baking nearby. The streets are beginning to stir, but the movement is slow and careful, as if the city itself is savoring the morning. You wander through familiar paths, noticing the small details you often overlook. The way sunlight dances on a fountain, the pattern of shadows from a vine climbing a wall, the soft cooing of pigeons settling on rooftops. Each moment feels like a quiet gift, an invitation to simply exist in the gentle rhythm of life. Mid-morning, you find a quiet place beneath an olive tree. Its branches sway lazily in the breeze, and the soft rustle of leaves seems to whisper calm into your thoughts. You sit on the low grass, leaning back against the tree trunk and close your eyes for a while. You imagine the river flowing gently nearby, carrying stories and memories of the city along with it. You feel as though you are part of that flow, moving slowly, peacefully, without effort. Later, you wander to a small market where merchants display fruits, vegetables, and simple crafts. You greet a few familiar faces, exchanging quiet smiles. The colors, smells, and soft hum of conversation surround you like a gentle, warm cloak. You buy a small loaf of bread and a few figs, savoring each bite with slow appreciation. In the afternoon, you visit a courtyard where an elderly man carves small figures from wood. You sit nearby, watching his hands move carefully, carving life from nothing. The sound of his tools tapping and scraping is steady and calming, blending with the soft murmur of people around you. You notice the patience required for such careful work, and it teaches you, in a quiet way, how beauty can grow slowly, gently, and without hurry. As the sun begins to lower, the city bathes in golden light. You walk along quiet streets, watching shadows lengthen and soften. Everything seems to glow with a gentle warmth. You pause at a fountain, dipping your fingers into the cool water, feeling the liquid flow over your skin like a soft reminder that time, too, moves steadily and without force. Evening arrives slowly. You return home, greeted by familiar warmth and the smell of herbs and cooking. You share a simple meal with your family, speaking softly, laughing quietly, savoring the calm rhythm of togetherness. Night falls over Rome, painting the city in silver and shadow. You step outside once more, looking at the stars scattered across the sky. Each one shines steadily, ancient and serene, reminding you that the world continues in a steady, timeless way. You lie down in your bed, feeling the day settle into your body like soft water flowing over stones. Your breath slows, your thoughts fade, and once again, you drift into sleep wrapped in the endless, gentle embrace of ancient Rome, where every day flows softly into the next, and every dream moves with calm, unhurried rhythm. The night moves slowly, holding the city in a soft, quiet embrace. When you awaken, it is with the gentle certainty of routine and peace. Light pours in through your window, soft and golden, carrying warmth that touches your skin before your mind even fully wakes. The city hums quietly beyond the walls, a calm and steady rhythm that seems to breathe alongside you. You rise slowly, stretching your limbs and feeling the comforting weight of another day. Outside, the air is cool and fragrant with the scent of herbs and stone warmed by the sun. You step into the courtyard barefoot, letting the texture of the smooth stone beneath your feet ground you in this familiar place. Somewhere nearby, a soft voice hums a melody, mixing with the distant splash of a fountain, creating a gentle soundtrack for the morning. You walk through the streets of Rome with no destination in mind. Each step is deliberate, slow, and soothing. The shops are opening, their owners arranging goods with quiet care. A potter molds clay on his wheel, each movement rhythmic and meditative. You pause to watch him, noticing the slow transformation of shapeless earth into something useful and beautiful. The steady pace of his hands reminds you of the city itself, strong, enduring, yet never hurried. Later, you wander toward a small garden tucked behind a villa. Olive trees sway gently in the breeze, their leaves whispering softly to one another. You find a low stone bench and sit, closing your eyes for a moment to listen to the world around you. The gentle rustle of leaves, the distant laughter of children, and the soft flow of water from a nearby fountain blend into a lullaby for your mind. You feel your thoughts drifting slowly, untethered from worry or urgency. After some time, you visit a quiet corner of the forum, where an elderly storyteller sits beneath a column, his voice calm and soothing as he recounts tales of heroes and gods. You listen, letting the words paint soft images in your mind, ships gliding across calm seas, gentle heroes performing quiet acts of courage, gods moving subtly through the lives of humans. Each story feels like a whisper, not demanding attention, only inviting your imagination to wander peacefully. By midday, you stroll through the marketplace. The colors of fruits, cloth, and pottery are rich but softened by sunlight. Merchants greet you with quiet smiles. You pause to feel the smooth surface of a clay cup, admire a small carved figure, and inhale the gentle aroma of fresh bread and herbs. The simple, sensory rhythm of the market is comforting, grounding you in the present moment. In the afternoon, you find a quiet path along the riverbank. The Tiber flows steadily, its waters glinting softly in the sun. You sit on a stone near the edge, dipping your fingers into the gentle current. The water ripples around your hand, moving slowly and calmly, carrying with it the soft reflections of the sky and the city. You feel yourself become part of the flow, drifting lightly with the rhythm of life around you. As the sun begins to lower, you wander home along quiet streets bathed in golden light. Shadows stretch long across the stone, and everything feels soft and warm. At home, your family shares a simple meal. Voices are low and easy, laughter gentle, and the sense of belonging wraps around you like a comforting cloak. Night falls again. The sky darkens and the stars scatter like silver dust across the heavens. You step outside one last time, feeling the cool night air and listening to the distant murmur of the river. Everything is calm, steady, and timeless. You lie down in your bed, breathing slowly, feeling every muscle release its tension. Your mind drifts without effort, carried by the soft, enduring rhythm of ancient Rome. And once more, sleep wraps around you, gentle, unbroken, and endless, guiding you through dreams filled with quiet streets, flowing rivers, olive groves, and the soft, timeless heartbeat of the city. Morning comes quietly once again. The light filters through the shutters in a soft, golden haze, touching the walls with warmth that feels like a slow embrace. You stretch and rise, feeling the familiar comfort of your room, the steady pulse of your body, and the gentle awareness of being alive in this city that moves so deliberately, so patiently. The air is mild and fresh, scented faintly with flowers from a neighbor's garden, and the earthy warmth of stone streets after the cool night. You step outside barefoot, feeling the smooth, solid stones beneath your feet, and the faint coolness of dew that lingers here and there. The city wakes gradually. Voices rise softly, not shouting, only murmuring greetings and simple conversations. The distant clop of hooves on cobblestones and the scrape of cartwheels over stone create a quiet rhythm. You walk along familiar streets, noticing once again the subtle details you might otherwise miss. The way sunlight catches on bronze door handles, the gentle sway of laundry hanging from high balconies, the cooing of pigeons as they settle back on rooftops. Everything is alive yet calm, and you move through it slowly, your footsteps part of the city's soft, steady heartbeat. Today feels like a day for exploration. You wander toward the Forum, but instead of immersing yourself in the bustling center, you slip into the narrower streets and alleys that wind between houses. These quiet corners hold small wonders. A potter shaping clay on a wheel, his hands moving with patient precision. A baker sliding loaves into a warm oven, the scent of bread drifting lazily in the air. A small garden tucked behind a stone wall where herbs and flowers grow in neat clusters. You pause often, observing, breathing slowly, letting your mind float along with the calm flow of life around you. Eventually, you arrive at a small temple on the outskirts of the city. Its marble columns glow faintly in the morning sun. Inside, the air is cool and scented with incense. You kneel for a moment, not out of necessity, but to feel the peace that seems to linger in sacred spaces. The temple feels timeless, as if it has held quiet prayers and gentle thoughts for centuries. And you are only the latest in a long line of visitors who have paused here, letting the calm settle over them. When you leave, the day has grown warmer, and you wander toward the river. The Tiber glistens in the sunlight, moving steadily, carrying reflections of the city and its soft currents. And you imagine all the stories flowing quietly downriver, merchants traveling, soldiers returning home, travelers marveling at the city from afar. Merchants call in calm voices, and customers haggle quietly, never loudly or urgently. After the market, you follow a narrow path that leads to a gentle hill overlooking the city. From here, you can see Rome stretching out beneath you. Rooftops and temples, gardens and courtyards, and in the distance, the river winding lazily through the streets. You sit in the grass and let the sun warm your back. Birds drift from branch to branch, and you close your eyes for a while, listening to the soft rustle of leaves, the distant hum of life, and the occasional splash of water from a fountain far below. It feels as if the entire city is breathing slowly and calmly, and you are part of that rhythm. When you rise, you wander down toward a quieter district where an elderly teacher often sits beneath a shaded portico. Today, he is speaking about philosophy, about how life moves in cycles and how the smallest acts can ripple gently through time. You sit nearby and listen, letting his words sink in without pressure or expectation. Outside the window, the leaves of a vine sway softly, and the sunlight scatters through them in delicate patterns. For a long while, you feel nothing but calm, connected to the world in a gentle, unhurried way. By afternoon, you make your way to a secluded courtyard with a small fountain. The water splashes quietly, creating a soothing rhythm. You lie on the grass nearby, feeling its soft warmth, and imagine life beyond Rome's rolling hills, distant towns and travelers moving slowly along roads lined with trees. Thoughts drift gently through your mind. The stories of friends, the soft laughter of children, the quiet lessons of elders, and the endless pulse of the city itself. Each thought passes like a leaf floating on water, carried away without effort. Later in the day, a festival begins to take shape in the forum. Today honors the goddess of the harvest. Tables are arranged with fruits, grains, and small cakes. Music drifts softly from flutes and lyres, not loud or forceful, but gentle and warm. Children run lightly through the streets, their laughter ringing like a soft bell, and families gather quietly to offer thanks and enjoy the simple pleasures of the season. You walk slowly among the stalls and crowds, tasting honey treats, watching games, and feeling the gentle pulse of celebration that does not rush or overwhelm. Evening settles gradually. The sky turns a deep shade of gold and rose, fading into soft violet. The lamps in the streets flicker to life, casting warm pools of light on stone walls and narrow alleys. You walk home with slow, measured steps, carrying with you small treasures from the day, the memory of the sun on your face, the gentle laughter of children, and the serene rhythm of the river flowing endlessly nearby. At home, dinner is simple but satisfying. The scent of herbs and warm bread fills the air. You speak softly with your family, share quiet laughter, and enjoy the slow, comforting ritual of the meal. Afterward, you help wash the dishes, the warm water running over your hands like a gentle current, carrying away the fatigue of the day. Night comes fully. You step outside one last time to look at the stars. The Tiber glimmers under the moonlight, moving slowly, steadily. You take a deep breath, feeling your body relax completely. The city hums faintly around you, the soft footsteps of late wanderers, the distant call of an owl, the whisper of wind through olive trees. Finally, you climb into your bed. The sheets are soft and cool. Your body melts into the mattress. Your breathing slows, and your thoughts fade, drifting quietly like clouds. The day settles into memory as gently as a stone placed in calm water. And once more, you drift into deep, endless sleep, carried by the timeless, gentle rhythm of ancient Rome, where streets, rivers, gardens, laughter, and quiet adventures blend together into one unbroken current of calm. Your dreams move slowly, peacefully, safely, as if the entire city itself cradles you through the night.